Purpose isn't reserved for a chosen few. It awakens the moment you decide to answer your own call. This show is about inspiring you and helping you to remember that you also have a purpose. Welcome to an episode of Dear Maytte. Today's question is, I understand manifestation in theory, but how do I actually become aligned with what I want? And I just love this question because this is a question that really speaks to who I am and the body of work that I am so passionate about, and really the framework that I use with myself and with the clients that I coach. So if you remember, and I may have said this in previous episodes, I have a master's degree in counseling, but I never really became a therapist. And after having a very successful corporate career and some situations that happened, it just became very focused on my spiritual journey. And that was very much about the law of attraction and Abraham Hicks in particular. And I really embodied his teachings. And one of the things that was most important to me was this concept of we're responsible for what happens in our world. The idea that we're always creating, and for most of us, we're creating by default. And when we become intentional about what we're creating, everything changes. And so when I left corporate, that just became a big part of what was important to me. And when I decided to become a coach, I got certified as a law of attraction coach. And that was very much in alignment with me. And then as my career has continued, I got certified with David Bayer with his methodology. And it was so in line with my beliefs and basically what I knew about law of attraction, because with law of attraction, this is how it works. Basically, you have what you don't want and you identify what that is. And that's typically very easy for most people to identify what they don't want. Now, what that means is that's information. And in terms of how Abraham Hicks talks about it, and in terms of sort of what that represents, it's contrast. And the contrast is there to help us understand more clearly what we do want. So if you experience somebody who's rude, then you have this feeling of, ooh, I really want to surround myself with people who are kind. I want to be kind because I just experienced what that felt like. So then the next step is, what is it that I want? What do I want to create? What do I want my life to look like? Who do I want to be? And that is kind of the vision of your future. Step 3 is identifying and releasing the belief systems, the limiting beliefs that we've been programmed with that are barriers or in the way. And I used a little bit of cognitive behavioral therapy when I would address the limiting beliefs, but the David Bayer methodology just gave me a really clear way of addressing limiting beliefs, which I have found extremely, extremely helpful. Step 4 is creating an environment, identifying your thoughts, beliefs, the new decisions that you want to make for yourself, who you want to be, how do you want to live your life, who are the people that you want to surround yourself with, what kind of environment do you want? For me, that became becoming more involved in high vibration activities and really paying attention to my state of being. And so while that does not mean that you have to be in a high vibration state all the time, what it does mean is you have an opportunity to really focus on when you're not in that state and do whatever it is that you need to do to switch to a higher vibrational state. Because from a law of attraction perspective, what we put out into the world is what we get back. So when we're in gratitude and love and excitement, and when we're high vibing, that's where we're in alignment, and that's when we can more easily receive. And the last step with law of attraction is to let go and surrender. It is not our responsibility to know how or when. It is our responsibility to identify what we are inspired to do, what is our responsibility, and to do whatever it takes to get to where we want to go. Law of attraction, and particularly around The Secret, one of the pieces that I thought was missing was this action step. So if I want a Ferrari, I can't just sit on the couch and visualize myself in the Ferrari and just know that I deserve that Ferrari and I'm going to get that Ferrari and expect that the Ferrari is going to show up in my driveway. Like, there's a part that we have to play in that conscious creation. We are co-creators with the universe, who is always working on our behalf. It is always lining up all the parts, the people, the circumstances, the opportunity. What tends to happen is that if we haven't done the work around our beliefs and our state of being, there could be all sorts of opportunities, ideas, and things like that that are right in our field that we're not conscious of. What was interesting to me in this question was that as I was thinking about what I do, I realized that in developing the sacred alignment methodology, that I pretty much followed that law of attraction arc. The first part of the work that I do with my clients is to help them become aware of what hasn't been working, aware of where they want to go, what's the vision of their future, and really starting to identify what are the behaviors that are the patterns of behavior that they're engaging in that may not be working for them. The second part of that methodology, my methodology, is what I call belief alchemy. And it is the work around looking at those limiting beliefs that are getting in the way. Because those limiting beliefs are creating some level of resistance. You cannot manifest more money if deep down inside one of your programs is that money is hard to make. They're not in alignment. And so as you start to identify what it is that you are seeking, what you're desiring, it's important to pay attention to what comes up for you around that. Typically, limiting beliefs, we have them around money, we have them around health, we have them around finances, we have them around relationships, because we get those beliefs from the ages of 0 to 7. We are sponges, and everything around us, what our parents are going through, our teachers, the media, the elders in our church, like all of the people around us, we're having experiences with them, and we're just gathering that information. And that information becomes our belief systems. Now, for most people, they either don't even realize that, or they're definitely working in the subconscious. And the work that I do that is needed is to identify what those are, so that you're making sure that your belief systems are in alignment. And we have a methodology that addresses that. And you as a sovereign being get to decide how you want your beliefs. What beliefs do you want to have? You get to choose. You got them when you were young. They were programmed into you. And now your job is to deprogram, to instate a new, to instate a new program by making some new decisions. And when you make a new decision, everything changes. Like it just, you start getting new ideas, you have new perceptions. You start getting coincidences, like things start like lining up differently. And I can get into that whole thing, but for the purpose of this episode, the belief alchemy is kind of the middle part of the methodology. And then the last part is, once you have made these new decisions, how do you incorporate those new decisions into who you are? How do you want to show up as the person who already has what it is that what you're looking to do? So every morning, being able to look at what new decisions have you made, what are the things that you need to do that are in alignment, that are moving you forward in acting as if, in being that person who already has what you desire. And so when I was looking at that, and I was talking with one of my clients, and we sort of we're having the conversation about this whole law of attraction, it just kind of dawned on me that that is so ingrained in me that the methodology follows that. And what I love about it is, and this is what I loved about law of attraction, is that when you understand those steps, when you understand the importance of identifying what's the resistance, what is the belief systems that are operating that are not quite in alignment with what you're creating, and you can identify that by how are things going in your world, like where are the areas that you struggle with. Because to become in alignment with what you want to manifest is you have to have clarity about what that is. You have to be able to identify what is getting in your way. And then you need to be able to step into being the person who already has what you desire. What does she wear? How does she think? How does she respond? What does her day look like? And the more that you can be in that state of being, the quicker your manifestation comes in, because you're clear about your intention, you're clear about the feeling that you want to have, and that all is energy that's being put out into the field. And that's why it's so important to really look at what is happening in your environment and what is the meaning that you are giving to any situation, but in particular, those situations that are causing you to be more in a primal state. And so there are two states of being, which is a whole nother video that I could share with you. But it really is about lining up with that which you're wanting to manifest. And there's a whole process with law of attraction and in the framework that I use that is so in line. It just made me chuckle because it really showed me how ingrained that stuff is in me. And so I wanted to share that with you, and it was just the perfect question to be able to do that. So thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want more information like this, if you have a question that has been sort of floating in your head that you would like a perspective on, what I love about what I do is that it's a combination of law of attraction, spirituality, behavior psychology, and neuroscience, because we are all about rewiring ourselves so that we are stepping in to the highest version and highest timeline that we have. So if you have a question, I would love for you to put it in the comments or message me on any of my social media platforms. I would love the opportunity to share my perspective on what is going on for you. So until we meet again, share this episode with somebody who might be interested. Please make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. I love hearing what people have to say about this topic. So thanks so much.